Beautiful Tuesday morning here. Hopefully the smoke can stay out for a bit because we got teams practicing, not just football. We got golf going, soccer going. Hopefully I can stay away for a bit, but here we got another reprise coming later today. Mentioned as we started fall camp for North Dakota last Thursday, teams are well underway for getting ready. The season begins for some in 10 days' time. We got games coming up on August the 22nd. Others will be starting a week after that. Our next guest is aiming for what could be a really, really special year out in Minot after a trip to the 2A state semifinals a year ago. Minot North has its eyes fixed on potentially a first trip to the Dakota Bowl. Head coach Jacob Holmen joins us this morning as the Sentinels are wrapping up practice and getting ready for the start of a fun 2025 season. It's great to see about, we did this a few years ago when things were just getting off the ground, and now you're visiting off air. You've got seniors now. How different does that feel?
That's a big deal. We got 21 seniors right now on our team, which is a really good number for that AA level. And they're the guys who started this thing with us. So we don't know Sentinel football without those guys. We've already looked a little ahead to next year a little bit, and we can't picture it without them. But we're just going to enjoy the year with these guys, and we appreciate their leadership. They've come a long way since we started.
Just describe that, because I was hesitant with Harvey McMahon about that. We were out there their first day when they were at Legacy Middle School in West Fargo with 10, 11 guys. I remember we had you on your first day of starting it out, and now there are big expectations with this team. How special is that to go from that beginning to where you're at right now?
Yeah, that was a long process, but it came real quick.
Yeah.
That first practice back in 2022, we had 14 kids. And
Man.
Those 14 kids were kind of wide-eyed, didn't know a lot about football, and now they're some of the smartest guys that I've been around. So that's just a testament to those guys and their willingness to learn. But they've come a long way. There were a lot of people outside our program that probably looked at us and said, these guys have a long road ahead. And we've had some success early, and it's a testament to the senior kids that we have right now who have bought into the weight room, bought into what we're preaching, and younger classes have followed their example very well.
Take away the experience part, the success part last year. How much does that change the feel of fall camp this year as opposed to this time last year?
I mean, we've talked, and we're trying not to let last year's success have a lot of impact this year. There's obviously high expectations because we got most of our guys back, but we're always going to have high expectations for our kids and just how they practice, how they conduct themselves. But yeah, we say that we're entitled to nothing, and that's a true statement for any sports team that there is, that you are entitled to nothing. You have to work for everything that you earn. And that's kind of our mantra. That was a little bit last year, but it's really our mantra this year, knowing that there are expectations, but we're just worrying about one day at a time.
You feel like you snuck up on guys last year, Jacob, on teams?
Maybe a little bit. I don't know if teams expected us to be as good as we were. But once we were on film, I think teams understood what we wanted to do, and we were going to try to run the football and all that. So maybe early on, but later on, I think we earned some respect as we played each and every game.
I'm ripping off the Band-Aid of last year. For your guys to see the team that you lost to won the whole thing, is that something you take solace in, or is that inspire? Like, all right, that team was really good, that we know where we got to get to if we want to win it.
Yeah, I think it gives you a measuring stick for sure. I wish we could play Horace again, actually, this year, just because I think we'd compete a little bit better. Last year, they were better than us, and they showed that the 2 times that we played them. But our guys got a taste of a big moment playing in a semifinal game.
Yeah.
Getting to do it at home was a really special deal, too. But yeah, the environment's different when you're playing playoff football against a football team that maybe is a little bit better than you. You have to be on your game. So I think our older kids now understand that a little bit more.
In fact, you mentioned that you got a semifinal game at home. Just when you were talking about it, and you gave us the tour last year when you're on the show about what the atmosphere is like. You've built that up. How excited for this now that people come to games? This is a big deal to come to your team's games.
Yeah, for sure. There's a ton of excitement. Our students have rallied around our football team really well. We have an awesome group of parents who set up our booster program, and they're excited. I've gotten talked to. We only have 4 regular season home games this year. There's disappointment in that fact. Hopefully, we can go earn a couple more home games if we can find a couple in the playoffs. But yeah, it's a special field, special stadium, and that's all due to the people that show up and support our kids.
So on day one last week, is that where you talked outside expectations? Like, hey, everybody thinks you're going to be good. Is that where you quell that happened on practice one?
I think I've been saying that since the end of last season, to be
Uh,
honest with you. I didn't have an awesome feeling during the winter off season. Not to say that our kids weren't working, but just my gut was saying we can't be satisfied with what we did this last year.
mm.
And then we got into summer, and it's almost like a switch flipped for our kids, and they just put their heads down and went to work. And then that same thing just carried over into fall camp. So yeah, we talk about it a little bit, and I think they're starting to understand that it's so important to prepare, and every single day has a high level of importance for our kids right now.
We have visited often about the changing classes. 2A has undergone another makeover. You mentioned Horace is gone. We had Central Cass's Travis Lamar on yesterday. They're moving in. Kindred's moving in. How do you evaluate now what 2A looks like?
Yeah, I think it's deep with the addition of those two teams, and then Devil's Lake sliding over to the west.
Yeah.
They have a quarterback who we really respect. He's a really good player, but the youth of last year's teams will show up this year in their experience that they got. So like Dickinson was really young. St. Mary's has some kids that can play. So I think the depth of the 2A level has gotten deeper. I think that every team that you play is going to challenge you, and you can't take any team lightly in this level.
In fact, you got two on the road to start. You got to come here to Fargo to play South.
Mm-hmm.
What are the challenges of that to start the first two on the road?
Yeah, I actually don't mind being on the road right away, just to get two of them out of the way. But then there's more distractions at home than there are on the road. So last year, our first road trip was to Horace, and I didn't think we handled that long trip very well because our kids have never driven that far to play a football game.
Yeah.
So this year, going to Williston and then going to Fargo, I don't mind it, just to get out of town and say, hey, this is a business trip. We're going to focus on playing the game of football. Nothing else matters right now. And then come back home, and hopefully we can come back with a decent record and give it our best shot.
And the fact you get Red River coming there, Fargo North going to come to your place. You mentioned Devil's Lake. I mean, I imagine that could be a huge game, a big crowd wise, with Devil's Lake coming to town.
For sure, yeah. Every game's a big game, but I think the expectation of just playing our best football week in and week out. We don't look at necessarily who our opponent is. It's about us, and we respect every team. So we're going to prepare the best that we can and give every team our best shot.
Give us a couple guys that you mentioned the huge senior class, the ones you're going to be counting on. You're going to tell me everybody, but you got to single out a couple.
Yeah.
Give me a couple guys that if we don't have them, we're not going to be very competitive.
Yeah, I think first and foremost is our quarterback, Braden Blickery, very good football player. We're putting a lot more on his shoulders this year, just from a leadership standpoint. He has bought in more to the game of football. He's a basketball guy too, really good basketball player, but I think he sees that his future could be in football. So him, and then we've got our linemen back. So across the board, we have 6 guys that could probably start on any team right now.
Wow.
So they will be the biggest factor in our success, just running the football, stopping the run. But yeah, all of them are important to our team.
The overtures I've already heard, and I've heard on both sides of the state, is what's Minot North doing in this level? They should be up like Horace. How do you answer that right now?
I mean, I can see where they're coming from, but at the same time, you have to let programs get their footing. And we maybe got it a little quicker than some of the other schools, but I mean, look at what Horace did. Year 3, they're winning a state championship. So if people would have seen us play 3 years ago, they would have said, you guys need to be in the AA level, because we were not very good. And our kids have bought in, but even after our seniors leave here, we only have like 15 juniors and 15 sophomores and 15 freshmen. So numbers are still a concern for the future. So I appreciate being in the AA level. I eventually would love to get up to the AAA level and play the best teams in the state. But you got to give programs time to find a little success and get their footing before forcing them up.
You feel the success you've had that might get more kids out? Has that translated, or you have not seen that yet?
I think it will start to. I don't know if our young kids fully understand that football starts as early as it does. So I'm hoping that we can get some sophomores and some freshmen that trickle in.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fun to win football games. There's an excitement and energy that comes with that. So hopefully if we can find a little more success, we can get the ball rolling on that, and people will want to come out and play football.
For yourself to be part of this from the ground level, I know I talked with Harvey about this, to see it grow in front of your eyes, how much fun or pride do you have in that you were there day one, that you've built this thing?
Yeah, it's a cool deal. And I'm just really, really fortunate to have people on our staff that have been with me from the start. So like my dad, Coach Rudolph, and Coach Ralph, we started this thing back in 2022, and we've added some really good coaches as well. But yeah, the journey has been fun. There's days when I look back and I think I would love to go back and do it all over again. But then there's other days where I think I'm so glad where we're at right
Yeah.
now, where we can actually just worry about coaching football and not worry about strapping on a pad and fixing a helmet and just the little things that come with coaching younger kids. So yeah, it's been a really fun journey, excuse me, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Is there the moments you have early on, like, hey, Minot's got another football team? Like, did you actively have like, hey, I didn't know there was a second high school team in Minot. Did you have that early on?
Yeah, I think when we were playing that JV schedule, there were
Yeah.
people that were just oblivious that we were even in existence. When the school came and got built, I think it changed, but there's still a loyal following of Minot High people in town. And the old timers, it's going to be hard for them to
Yeah.
accept the fact that we have two schools. But once kids and grandkids start to come, things change and people are all on board. So we're slowly adding supporters. We have great support, but it's going to take a little bit of time to get used to the two school system here in town.
I'll tell you what. You know what changes that when you guys play Minot in football. Then it's going to be
Yep,
different, man.
for sure. We're looking forward to that. We scrimmage them on Thursday, so even in our scrimmages, we get after it with them.
How's that going to go?
Yeah, I think it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Our senior class and our junior class, they actually went to school together for a year or two.
That's
So
wild.
they have good buddies across town. So it's a little bit unique, but when the whistle blows and the ball's set, we're going to go after each other and we're going to try to get each other better. Because when Minot football is good on both sides of town,
Yep.
everyone will benefit
Yep.
from that.
It's great to see you, bud. Thanks so much for the time. Good luck. I know we'll be talking throughout the season. Appreciate the time this morning, okay?
Appreciate it, Dom. Thank you.
Good to see you, man. Jacob Holmen, head coach at Minot North. The Sentinels open up their season August the 29th at Williston. They're coming here to Fargo to take on South. Mentioned they'll get North coming up there. They are one of the teams to beat. You look at what 2A looks like, and Kindred's got what we know what they have. Central Cass, I think, is going to be pretty darn good. I think you're interested to see what the Grand Forks schools. I'm really interested what Devil's Lake brings to the table now that they're out west. Jamestown, my guy Bill Nelson's team is always pretty solid. It's Minot North. I really believe that. I think they're the team to beat in 2A. They are on the same path that Horace was, and Horace won in year 3. This is year 3 for them for varsity football, and I think the breakthrough is going to happen. I would be really surprised if it doesn't. Just looking at what the 2A landscape is, it could, if it's Kindred and Minot North playing at the Dakota Bowl in mid-November, then you can say I got one prediction right finally. But we'll see. It's going to be dynamite to follow their team this upcoming fall. We'll take our final break. We come back. We'll wrap things up, get you ready for a busy Sports Tuesday. Get a couple of their emails to get to, and more on the Bison tailgate changes that are coming for this upcoming year. Back to wrap things up.